People often ask how I do my windshield camera. Here it is. It's just a quick attach. Suction cup on the windshield, that's it. Never overcomplicate. The old truck's looking pretty good, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I put a little lift on it, some tires and wheels this week. Gonna put a bull bar on it next week, get those front windows tinted. You know, it was either buy a new truck or fix the old one up, so I decided to clean the old one up a bit. It's getting warm already. It's not even 8 o'clock and it's already getting warm. It's in the 80s. Yeah, it was 83 at 11 o'clock last night. It's pretty crazy, huh? Well, hello friends, Coach Bob with you today, and today have we got a great video for you. Yes, I sound like Howard Cosell. Yeah, I know you remember him. If you're old, you do. If you're a young person, you might not, but the man Howard Cosell was the big sports announcer when I was a boy. But I digress. Today, we are going to talk about the 5 most dangerous things that you can do on a Can-Am Spyder. That's right, there's 5 of them. Go figure. You know, 5 is a good round number. Also, those 5 things are not just for Can-Ams. They're for anything motorcycle or car related for that matter. They're not going to be the obvious things. It's going to be the things you wouldn't expect me to really talk about. I'm not talking about drunk driving or driving like a buffoon in general. I'm not talking about being an idiot. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. I'm talking about things that we overlook, and that's what makes them so dangerous. You know, putting your shoes on in the garage is not a danger. But when you live in the South, not looking in your shoes before you put them on, you know, to someone that has seen this a million times, well, maybe not a million, but someone who's seen it a bunch of times, where people put their shoe on and get bitten by a brown recluse or a black widow, or even a little snake in their shoe. Things like that down here happen a lot. You see it on the news and on the TV, and your friends talk about it. So you check your shoes, man. You just check your shoes if you leave them outside at all. All right, so these 5 most dangerous things. We're not gonna dawdle, we're not gonna dilly-dally, let's get going. But before we do, give the video a big old fat thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna come to a complete stop because that's what is required of me. Leave a comment on your comment, then start yapping, and that's what I expect. And if you do that, we're going to move up in the algorithm. We're going to grow rapidly, and you're going to make me a very happy man. And being happy is what I like. Because not being happy, well, that kind of sucks. All right, so here we go. The 5 most dangerous things you can do on a Can-Am Spyder. Numero uno. Skipping your pre-ride inspection. Yes, your pre-ride inspection. You know, I come from an aviation background. Everybody that has watched this channel a while understands that. And if you don't do your pre-flight, well, you're going to be a dead pilot. You know, there are old pilots and there are bold pilots, but there is no old and bold pilots. You got to do the mundane. Man, life is truly about the mundane. I'm just going to tell you that. So do your pre-ride. I do it every time, every single time. And if you don't do it, well, you're a dummy and you're asking for trouble. I can't tell you the number of times I've found a tire that was low. I've seen a trouble light. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to rectify the trouble light, but you should know why it's on. There's a dead armadillo. He's upside down hanging out. Man, either that or he was taking him a good nap. Stop. It's required. It is required by law, and the internet will tell you if you don't. All right, here we go. But your pre-ride inspection is boring and slow and mundane as that is. Do it. Look for loose bolts, look for loose mirrors, look for maladjusted mirrors, any of those things. I know that seems awfully silly. Brake lights, blinkers, that sort of stuff. It takes you less than 2 minutes. It takes me less than 2 minutes to do my walk around on every motorcycle I have. And I'm going to tell you another thing that I do. I have to actually take my hands and I put them on these front wheels, and I put them on my front wheel of my motorcycle, and I try to move that wheel, man. I'm looking for wheel bearings and things like that. I'm looking for things that may not even be on their checklist, but things that I've seen go wrong on motorcycles and that can be catastrophic. All right, so number one, never ever skip your pre-ride. Number two, make sure you enjoy the trees. Man, I just got to look at these for a second. Man, they are so beautiful. It's like riding through a big green tunnel. Golly, what a joy it is to ride out here. It's getting cooler in the shade like this. You see it adjusts to night mode because the shade is so nice. It's beautiful. All right, so number two is, man, this is a bad one too, and we've all done it. I've done it. It is bad. Ignoring noises or vibrations. Now, I'm going to tell you, my kids, I drive them crazy still to this day. When I ride around in a vehicle, I am listening for, what is that noise? What's that vibration? Oh, that's coins in my ashtray. Pull the coins out, ding-a-ling. You need to be able to hear what's going on in this car. What's going to happen when you have a vibration and you think it's coins? Pull that crap out of your car. Clean your car up, man. Clean that darn thing so you can hear vibrations and hear noises and squeaks and rattles. Do not ignore those things. I'm telling you, it can be something serious. It could be a dadgum wheel falling off. You need to be careful. Vibrations are another one, man. You could have some real odd tire wear that is going to make the tire come apart as you're riding. Or you could have tread separation. You could have a major engine problem, something that is just starting to reveal itself, and because you ignored it, it was catastrophic, and all of a sudden you're spending some kind of bearing and it's big money, which would have been, hey, just simply lubricating it would have been a resolution. Because when things come apart internally, it slings pieces of metal everywhere, and it destroys everything. Don't ignore noises and vibrations. Very, very important. You know, a little belt vibration, well, it could just be the normal vibration of a belt on a Can-Am. The Can-Ams do have belt vibration issues. They're not problematic in the general sense of the word, but they can get your attention. I have a lot of people contact me, hey coach, you know, what's this noise? And they'll record it, and I'm like, that sounds like a belt vibration. You could do this or do that. And they do it, and it goes away, and they go, oh, okay, all right, it was something that wasn't a problem. But check your belt alignment and stuff in your walk around as well. But vibrations and things like that, don't ignore them. Don't ignore trouble lights. Don't do that, man. I'm telling you, that crap will get you killed. Don't ignore noises and vibrations. That's a bad, bad thing. Don't be a bad person. All right, so number three. Number three is a big one. I'm going to tell you, it's a real big one. Did you notice I did number three that way? I didn't want to get, you know, shot. That's from a movie. Oh, what's the movie? You can leave a comment down there if you're smart enough to know. Don't do your three this way, do it that way. All right. So number three, after you've been riding for a long, long time, that's when this occurs. You get complacent. You get complacent about your defensive driving. And all of a sudden, you're just riding. You're riding in an environment like this, you don't realize, you know, hey, a deer can pop out right here. You know, a good friend of mine, John, lives in Kansas. How you doing, John? Him and Patty are just wonderful folks. They visited me a couple of times, and I really need to get out to Kansas. I need to quit being a knucklehead and go out there and see them, don't I? Maybe that'd be a nice canyon ride, wouldn't it? All right, anyway. So, but recently they were out west, out at the Deadwood 3-Wheel Rally, and it wasn't their fault. But they had seen a bunch of deer, and a couple of deer went out and pranged a friend of theirs. Literally hit their friend. So the deer literally jumped over his head, knocked him off the Spyder. His wife's sitting on the back with no rider. Yeah, now the Spyder at this point was going pretty slow. She's trying to reach forward to get to the handlebars to steer the darn thing and stop it and all that. And then it runs off the road down into a ditch. He ends up broken ribs and all bruised up and battered and in the hospital. And she's all beat up and Spyder's all beat up. Her helmet's all damaged. You know, I'll drop some pictures up here while I'm talking. Now, I'm not saying that they did anything wrong. That's not what I'm saying at all. They were aware of it. They were already aware of it. Sometimes you can't avoid it. That's the reality. But what you need to do is understand that you need to be scanning all the time. You know, getting out like this and their story, just because I hear a story like that, even though it wasn't avoidable. Did I say it wasn't avoidable? It was not avoidable. I want you to understand that. But what that does is it makes me more diligent now, right? Stories like that should wake you up so that when you are out, that you are more diligent, you are driving more defensively. This time of the day where it's cool and there's a lot of shade, I'm not going to pick a deer up that's in these little tight areas. So I'm slowing down through these areas. Normally I'd be coming through here 15 miles an hour faster. So I'm just telling you, be very vigilant about your defensive driving and allow these stories that happen to people to wake you up, to slap you in the face so that you are more defensive, that you do pay attention, you do stop, look again, look one more time and then go. Don't just trust the quick, left or right. Look a couple of times, be diligent, have a scan, be a defensive driver. Look at the guy behind you. If someone is behind you and they're tailgating you and you need to, don't be slamming on brakes and brake checking people, and don't be speeding up to a speed that you're uncomfortable with. Hell, pull over, let them go around. They can go around, it won't hurt them. Let them go, it doesn't matter. Don't be all jacked up in your brain thinking that you have to, make everybody else happy. What you have to do is get home alive. So be vigilant, be defensive, pay attention to what's going on. When you see a guy drifting over into your lane, figure out a route of escape, start planning your way out. Drive defensively, and if you can see something before it happens and you can avoid it way before it happens and it never gets scary, man, that is a big win. Oh, did you notice I came to a complete stop? Oh, yes I did. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. We're getting ready for the last 2, but before we get these last 2 done, I want you to do me a favor. Give the video a big old thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it. I know you're going to get something out of all of this because these things can save your life. This next one is a very big one, and Coach Vic and I, we abide by this, especially when we're traveling together. It's driving when your head isn't right. When your head isn't right, don't drive. What do I mean by that? When you're mad, when you're broken and distracted, don't drive. Don't ride. Don't get in your car. Don't get in your truck. Don't get on a motorcycle. I know you're saying, well, Coach Bob, I'm just an angry person. Then stay home. Just stay home. Make the world a better place for all of us. Don't go out. We don't want you out here. You not only endanger yourself, but the lives of everyone around you. Coach Vic, like I was saying earlier, is not a morning person. And so in the mornings, I know that she is effervescent, beautiful, and a saint. And yes, she is all of those things. But we'll say that sometimes she's a grouch. She can be a grouch in the morning because she don't like to get up. And me, I'm a light switch. I'm click, bang, there I go. And I drive her crazy. So when we're traveling, I'm like, get up, right? I'm getting her dressed, I'm throwing shoes on the bed, and I'm laughing and all that, and she'll get irritated. And every now and then, she'll get under my skin because she gets irritated, because I'm like, come on, we got to go. I might get a little perturbed. And if I do, then what I have to do is I have to chill the freak out. That's what I have to do. Because I have to understand that everyone's not me. Everyone doesn't want to get up at the crack of dawn, right? Everyone isn't a morning person. And so I have to get a hold of myself and shake myself up a little bit and fix myself a cup of decaffeinated coffee, yes, and sit there and enjoy it and slow down a minute and get my head right. Get your head right. Now, I know that's a minimal kind of thing. I'm not saying there aren't times that when you go, hey, I'm going to go for a ride to clear my head. When you're in those head spaces, that's different than driving angry. That's driving with a purpose. Your head is in the right place. It may look the same from the outside, but it's completely different on the inside. You're not driving while you're angry and broken going, ah! You're going, man, this is providing me peace and beauty, and I'm grateful to be here. There's a massive difference there. Like I said, it looks the same from the outside. Well, I'm driving because I'm upset, or I'm driving upset. There's a difference there. So I want you to understand these subtle differences in life. I know in politics, we don't want to believe this, but understand this, ding-a-lings. That there can be more than one thing true at a time. Do you know that? 2 things can be true at a time, right? This guy can be a dummy, and so can that guy. We just need to get over ourselves in a lot of things. But get your head together, get your crap together, or stay off the motorcycle. Because if not, You're going to end up on the wrong side of a news story. You're going to be the Karen or the Darren that was yelling at the cop as they were being handcuffed and thrown to the ground for acting like a total knucklehead. And we know that road rage in this country is at an all-time high. All you got to do is go online to see it, or drive around town for a half hour. You're going to see some knucklehead all over the road, throwing his hands up in the air, slamming his phone down in the passenger seat, driving around 3 cars in the ditch. I see it all the time, all the time. It's dangerous out here. It's because people are not driving in the right headspace. They're angry, they're miserable, they're upset for whatever reason, whether it's legitimate or stupid or whatever, and they do it, and it's dangerous. So don't be a part of the problem. Be a part of the solution. Make sure you have your head together. All right, number 5, the grand finale. And number 5 is such a no-brainer to me, man, but golly, the number of people that I see do this, it's just outrageous to me. Treating maintenance like it's a freaking option. Do you know, I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to call anybody out, I'm going to say this. Do you know there are cultures in the world, that this word, the maintenance, does not even exist in their vernacular? It's not even a word in their language. Maintenance is something that is very foreign to millions and millions of people on this planet. And therefore things degrade over time and they fall apart. It's the difference between a building like that has been standing for well over 100 years and a building that's just a dilapidated old shell. One was maintained, one was not. You have to maintain things. And your motorcycle, just like your yard or your home or whatever, has to be maintained. You know, it's funny, something as simple as an oil change. Yes, it's expensive. I get it. It's expensive. You know, put the key down. Don't ride it until you can get it done. Don't let it go too far. I'm not saying if you're 2% over. I'm just saying you don't have to be 20% early, but don't be 20% late. You know, just do it roughly on time. Maintain your motorcycle. Maintain your tires. You know, wipe them down with a rag. I'm not saying put a bunch of slippery stuff all over them, that way you slide all over the road on a motorcycle. That would be kind of dumb. But you need to make sure your tires are clean and maintained. That you need to do. You need to make sure your windshield is clean and maintained. If your windshield has a small crack, or if you don't check the bolts and the attachment points on it, you could have a real problem. I mean, you could have a real problem. So maintain your machine. Maintain it. You know, my truck, for example, I maintain my truck big time because it's big, it's heavy, and those suspension parts, there's a lot of force that's going on those things all the time. You need to be very, very careful with those things. Check your tire pressure. Maintain that. Don't let it get way out of whack. Wash your motorcycle. Yes, I said the big 4-letter word. Wash your motorcycle. Clean it up. I can't tell you through simple maintenance of washing something how many times I've discovered a problem just by washing it. You know, every time I go wheeling, whether I'm in a Jeep that I used to own or my truck that I'm in now, if I'm out wheeling, when I get home, I get my pressure washer and wash it in a rag. I wash the bottom of my vehicle. I crawl under it and clean the bottom of it. And there's a reason for that. I've really put that thing through a real challenge. I need to make sure that nothing came loose. I am maintaining this. And the same holds true with the bottom of this canyon. If I'm out rattling around on a washboard road and doing stupid things, I crawl under it. I literally crawl under it. I maintain this thing. I'm looking for trouble. I'm not looking to just clean it. I'm looking for trouble. Maintain your motorcycle. It is not an option. It's not a suggestion. It's absolutely critical in nature. And when you see something, like we said earlier, replace it. If one tire wore at a more rapid rate, let's say, for example, you make all left-hand turns where you are. That's all you do. You just make left-hand turns. And so therefore, as you're making left-hand turns, it puts a lot of weight on that right outer tire, and that tire wears out. Replace that tire. Replace it. When your back tire wears out but your front two look good, replace that back tire. When your belt looks bad, replace the belt. I mean, there are going to be times you're going to miss it and it's going to create a vibration or a noise. And what do? You address the vibration and noise. You address the trouble light, right? That's what we do. So maintain your motorcycle, maintain your car, maintain your home. Take care of it. It's really, really important. All right. Well, there you have it. Another one in the books. 5 dangerous things, the 5 most dangerous things that you can do on a Can-Am Spyder or any motorcycle for that matter. These 5 things are dangerous. They're dangerous all the time. All right. Well, I know you got something out of that, so I want you to do me a favor until next time. I want you, yes you, go out, buy the motorcycle of your dreams, eat right, take care of yourself, and remember, if you're not having fun, you are most definitely doing it wrong. Now you go seize the day, and I'll see you on the road real soon. But I'm just going to enjoy my beautiful ride, man, because it is a wonderful morning. It's 79 degrees. Man, I feel like I'm in the Arctic North. Woo-hoo.